My name is Farai Kufokwedu. Farai is actually Shona, so I'm Zimbabwean, but I left Zimbabwe about 13 years ago. I moved to Canada. So I'm a Canadian citizen. I'm a Zimbabwean citizen, but I'm also a Canadian citizen. So my family lives in Canada. But I am in Kenya because the company that I'm working with, we just opened up operations here in the country. I'm not here to talk about what I'm doing for the company, but I'm here to talk about personal growth. So personal growth, what is it? And why is personal growth important? We all want to be rich. We all want to be successful. But to succeed, it takes a certain kind of mindset. To develop a church, to develop a company, to develop any entity of substance takes a certain kind of mindset. Developing that mindset is what personal development does. A lot of people, especially here on the African continent, we have not taken it upon ourselves to really study those things that make other people successful. My responsibility, my task, what I feel is one of my callings is especially to talk to young people, talk to Africans in university, in schools, and urge them and nudge them really towards the path of personal development, personal growth. What is personal development? The things that you want to have, the things that you want to do, the things that you want to be. You will never have those things if you are the same kind of person that you are today. For you to drive a Mercedes S650, you will not drive a Mercedes S650 with the same mindset that you have today. For you to run a multi-million-dollar business, you will never be able to run a multi-million-dollar business with the same mindset you have today. So what you need to do, you need to grow from where you are today into the person who you want to be. And the process of personal growth is what we're going to be talking about. This is a journey. This is one of the first interviews that I'm having. So I want you to come with me on this journey. We'll be talking about different topics. As the weeks go by, we'll be talking about different things. And I want you to come on this journey with me so that we go on a process together. You'll be able to actually check yourself on how you're doing in terms of your progress, in terms of personal development. Now, the first thing that you want to look at when you talk about personal development is, what are you comfortable with? Are you comfortable where you are now? If you are comfortable where you are now, and you are not willing to go outside that comfort zone, you are not going to grow. You need to grow, and to grow, you need to go outside your comfort zone. So comfort zone is your enemy. Your enemy number one is your comfort zone. The moment you see yourself doing the same thing every day, every week, every month, every year, you are so much in trouble. What you want to be able to do is to challenge yourself on a daily basis to do something uncomfortable. My business calls for me to talk to strange people. I mean, people that I don't know. If I'm not comfortable talking to people that I don't know, that is always going to be a hindrance. There are a lot of things that you are not comfortable doing. What you have to do is to brace up, buckle up. The worst thing that could happen to you is somebody's going to tell you off. But that's nothing. When somebody tells you off, just go to the next person. You need to go outside your comfort zone, because everything you want, everything you need, all the things that you aspire to, all those things are outside your comfort zone. So if you choose to stay where you are, you know what? That's exactly where you're going to stay. And you're going to watch people like me and other people around us move outside our comfort zones and get those things that we desire for our lives. Comfort zone, extremely important. We'll be talking about that every week. The other aspect of personal development is your environment. Your physical environment and your mental environment. One of the cartoons in this book is a father who is standing with the two daughters in front of a bank of elevators, and he's giving his daughters pieces of advice. So he says, daughters, your friends are like the buttons on the elevator. They'll either take you up or they take you down. There's no middle way. So your friends are your environment. Your family, unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on the case, there could be a positive environment or there could be a negative environment. You need to be extremely, extremely vigilant of what's around your environment. If your friends are negative, if you tell your friend that, you know what, by the time that I'm 45, I want to have made more money than Chris Kirubi, and your friend says, no, you can't do it. That's not a good friend to have. Run away from that kind of a person as fast as you can and look for somebody who will say, you know what, I think I'll beat you to it. Those are the kind of friends you want. Extremely important to take care of your environment. That's the outside environment, the people around you, the things around you. Take a trip to Intercon. If you have never been there, take a trip to Serena Hotel and just sit and see the kind of people that are coming there. Talk to some of them so that you change your environment. Extremely important. The other environment, which is the most important environment, is your mental environment. What are you feeding your brain? Because everything you are, everything you see outside on the street, everything you see in this room, at some point it was an idea inside some human being's head. You need to take extra care of what you feed your brain. I was in Dr. Kirubi's office the other day. He has a library. You will never find a rich woman or a rich man who doesn't have a library. There are different types of libraries. There's a physical library. I just got here, part of your library. Books. You need to invest in books, personal development books, not novels, not fiction. When you make the millions, read the fiction. Now you don't. You cannot afford to read fiction. Read books that are going to build your mind. Read books that are going to build your personality. Read books that are going to build your character. So, the first part of your library, which is going to contribute to your mental environment, is your physical library. Then you need an audio library. Beautiful Nairobi, one of the best cities that I've ever been to, with one of the greatest opportunities around, traffic. There's so much traffic jam, you could turn that traffic jam into a university. Imagine the amount of time you spend in traffic. What if you were listening to Jim Rohn? You were listening to Bob Collymore talking. You were listening to Steve Jobs. You were listening to Bill Gates. You are listening to President Kenyatta himself talk. Your audio library, extremely critical. You should make it a point to buy CDs, to download audio workshops, audio books, autobiographies, so that you've got a solid audio library that you can play in your phone, that you can play in your car. Now we don't need a big boombox to play music. Right there. Everybody you know, including yourself, you do have a smartphone that you can add an extra SD card where you can put books, seminars, and training to train your mind. Your mind is the greatest machine that God has given you. Your thoughts, what you think, that's the only thing that you have got absolute control on. Napoleon Hill said, the father of personal growth and achievement, Napoleon Hill said, the greatest gift God has ever given you is the ability to control your thoughts. You need to make sure that the thoughts you are thinking, you are extracting them out of a bank with the right type of material. So don't be listening to nothing that doesn't benefit you. Dr. Kirubi is on radio. Listen to him. Listen to teachers. Listen to personal growth coaches. Build your personal audio library. Extremely important to manage your environment. Every morning when you wake up, make sure that you listen to something. I'm still to see somebody who takes their car to a garage to fuel and they take sand and put it in the gas tank. You don't put sand in a gas tank, you put petrol. Why would you be listening to something that doesn't give you the kind of fuel you need to be able to run a productive day? Extremely important. When you wake up, listen to something that builds you up. That's your environment. The next item on the personal development agenda is your persistence. How persistent are you? The kind of business in which I am requires me to be extremely persistent. I mean, you're not going to find anything that you're going to do and you succeed in it and you're not persistent. If you are not persistent, if the word persistence is something that brings goosebumps to your skin, chances are you're going to die broke, unhappy, and miserable. I don't think that's what you want. Persistence pays. In shillings, dollars, pounds, and Deutschmarks. If you are going to develop any quality that is going to take you from where you are today to where you want to get, develop the quality of persistence. Ask anybody who has become anybody. Ask the Kenyan Olympic runners. They'll tell you that outside their God-given talent, persistence. Ask any CEO across Kenya who has got to where they are today. Ask anybody who has built a church. Ask anybody who runs a university. They'll tell you that had it not been for persistence, I wouldn't be where I am today. So you need to persist. Persistence is the only qualifier, is the only thing that will separate you and everybody else. Because when everybody else is falling by the wayside, people like me, trust me, I am so not giving up. Winston Churchill, he had a speech to give, and he only said, never, never, never give up. He was done. If you develop the quality of never giving up on anything at all, believe me, you will meet with success that very few people meet in common hours. Persistence. Discipline. This one is a crazy one because, oh my God, this is where some of us fall. The price of discipline. Very simply, you will pay the price of discipline. Every human being pays the price of discipline or indiscipline. The only difference is you either pay it now, up front, or you're going to pay it in the back end. When you are 65, 75 years old and you are broke, sick, and miserable, the best thing is to pay the price now. Be disciplined. If you have to do something, do it. If you have to wake up at a certain time, do it. If you have to call on some people today, call them. If you have to write something, write it. Discipline and commitment, husband and wife. Husbands and wives, they divorce. So discipline and commitment would not be husband and wife. I would say discipline and commitment are as to your head and your body, inseparable. Commitment, favorite mentor of mine, Mr. George Zaluki, said, commitment is doing that which you said you will do long after the mood you have said it in has long passed. You have that discipline to continue on the path that you have chosen. Don't be moving around. Don't be looking around. If you make a decision to go after something, be committed to it and go after it like a bulldog on steroids. Have the discipline to go all the way. If you are going to run a marathon, go after it. If you're going to go to university, go after it. If you're going to get into business, go after it. 100%.